Bourbon, Broncos, and No B.S. Fans, brews, and Broncos news. What's going on, Broncos Country? Welcome to another edition of the Bourbon, Broncos, No B.S. Postgame podcast. My name is Kev Dan. We got John here, and we got some pretty awesome special guests. We got Dez and this guy named Drew, who it sounds like Dez, you kind of just found him on the street, and we felt bad about him because he was wearing that silly hat, and then you kind of just brought him in. Is that what? Am I getting that right?
Dude, honestly, I don't even know if his name is Drew. It just the 2D names work. Yeah. It's Dez and Drew, you know. So
well, I'm gonna be honest right now. I didn't even put the connection together, but obviously I saw John cheers up with a little clinking glass of bourbon, and I'm like, what? I gotta go grab one, but I don't know if I got time.
Oh, you can.
Go grab it. I'll hold down the fort.
All right, BRB.
We got an hour, buddy.
Awesome.
You got time.
You can booze up over there.
Plenty to talk about tonight,
in the
guys.
fridge.
So. With Dez and Drew here, we're going to let them talk about their new podcast, Sports Balls. We'll get to that later on. If you haven't seen it yet, guys, it's just funny. I mean, Dez, I don't know, I don't know if you guys like prep ahead of time with like a script or anything, but just off the cuff, it feels like you guys are just hilarious.
Listen, we do prep. I was talking with Mario on altitude adjustment, and he sort of asked the same thing. And there is a lot of prep that goes into it, but at the end of the day, we are two friends that love football, and this is what you're seeing on the podcast. I mean, it's a little bit more structured than how we would watch games, but all of our conversations is exactly what we would have one-on-one together. And so that's why we decided to put it on camera in front of a mic. So there you go.
Well, it's working. And so we'll definitely get the information out to everybody on how they can find you guys. But look for all the teams in the league right now, to include the Dolphins. It's a big moment, right? Every team has decisions to make. The Broncos have made several today, but there's going to be a whole lot more tomorrow.
Yeah. And
so, Drew, like obviously it would be interesting to hear, what kind of your take on the Dolphins, but from an outsider perspective, obviously like how you're seeing things happen within the Broncos and stuff. So let's kind of get into that. I mean, John, we've seen what 7, how many cuts today? I can't even remember. What were some of the ones? Obviously we know some of the big ones. Audric Estime, what's the big one? Mathis is another one, but what's your takeaway from what we've seen so far today, man?
I mean, no big surprises. I think once we got Barron in the draft, I think we all kind of saw the writing on the wall with Mathis. When we first got him that first season, I had high hopes for him, but never really panned out. Would have been nice for him to have a good preseason training camp and all that good stuff, and still make this team. But it is what it is. Not a huge surprise to me. I think Estime, we've kind of all been talking about it for the past couple of weeks, that he's kind of the odd man out in that running back room. So no shock there. Watson, I thought might have been a closer cut. So to see him go this early on, a little bit of a surprise, but there's only so many people that you can fit in that running back room. So no big surprises that I've seen today. Coming off of that game on Saturday, maybe Estime made some noise a little bit compared to the other games, but definitely not enough compared to what we've seen from the rest of the running backs, including Watson. So no huge surprises there. I'm curious to see if another team takes a chance on him. He was highly, scouted coming out of Notre Dame, so someone might take a chance on him, or maybe comes back to the practice squad. I'm not sure. We'll see.
Sure. No. Dez, start with you next. I mean, obviously you're kind of going through, I've seen your videos of trying to figure out who your next favorite Bronco is, right? With Javon Bay being gone now, sadly. Yeah. And you and Jared, I think, had the same amount of pain in regards to that. Jared still wears his Javon Bay jersey as well. And so what are you looking for? You know, obviously people can go watch your videos to see you whittle down the list there, but like what do you really want in one of your favorite players?
That is such a good question because I don't even remember how I chose, like how the love of Javonte started. It just like began and then blossomed into him eventually blocking me on social media. So it was a beautiful love story. But I think at the end of the day, it's vibes. And that's like such a silly thing to say, but like vibes on and off the field. Like you got to be a good player. I need to make sure you're sticking around because like one of the players I'm about to drop the 3rd round tomorrow. So stay tuned. But we got it down to 10 and getting down to 6. But out of the 10, I had to cut Alex Singleton. And I love the guy. But the thing is, he's been in the league for so long with his huge injury last year. I think I want him to be with the Broncos for another 4 years, 5 years, 6 years even. But I have to sort of take into account like where they are in their life, their career and things like that. So there's a bunch of little things. It is quite literally the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And also the Broncos fan base, like are passionate. And like every time I will down a little bit, there's a lot of people upset. And I'm like, guys, trust me, I'm upset too. I don't know who to choose. So it's a whole thing. But Drew, actually, we do a podcast together, but he's also my producer.
Oh, nice.
I know. So he helps me a lot behind the scenes for it. So that's when, you know, sort of him not being a Broncos fan doesn't make sense because he writes a lot of my scripts about how we're the best team ever. So,
well, and it's
There's
funny.
Still time, Drew. There's still time.
Well, I joke about it too, and I joked about it on the podcast like a week or two ago, where last year when Des brought me on to kind of help write and produce, I was doing so much research specifically with the Broncos that there was a time in the middle of the year where I'm like, I could name the entire Broncos depth chart and plays and stuff. And I'm like, wait, who's my quarterback on the Dolphins? Wait, what run? Like I was so invested that I'm like, oh, this is a crazy shift. And so even doing this, you know, players thing. And look, I've always said I'm from Denver. The Broncos are my second favorite team, but I've slipped a couple times on the podcast referring to the Broncos and using we. So something's happening inside of me that I don't know.
His heart grew.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the Grinch, but becoming a Broncos
An
fan.
orange heart.
Yeah,
Everyone comes around eventually, Drew.
I know.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
No.
I love it. So I kind of want to know, I mean, mostly we have a fan on here, Sean, and I think he would be very disheartened if I didn't submit a name to you, Des, for consideration.
Ooh.
Mitch Fabroni. Okay. Pepper is so consistent. I mean, you never see him make a mistake. And I think if there's anyone deserving of some additional love, I think Mitch Fabroni out is the perfect guy for you to at least consider. Like, I'm just going to throw that out there on behalf of John. So we can at least say we tried.
I'm making writer and producer notes right now.
Right now. He's like, how can we get Mitch in the mix? All right.
I like how John knew where I was going. Like as soon as I started talking,
I found out this last game that he was a second team All Pro or Pro Bowl. I know those are two very different things, but as a long snapper, I think
it's the first alternate or something.
Two teams for long snapper, but
Mitch
Fabroni, household name.
So,
Fabroni,
at least over here.
There you go.
Okay, all right. The gears are clicking. We love it.
Well, let's look at this, guys. What are some of your takeaways from this last game? Obviously, this is gonna talk towards more of who's gonna make the final roster and everything. But one thing a lot of people we were all looking at was how are the starting offense? You know, how are they gonna go out there and look? I know I have my thoughts, right? But Des and Drew, let's start with you guys first because just you're the guest, and I want to hear what you have to say because we've already kind of talked about it ourselves here.
Do you want to start? Because we were talking about it a little bit.
Yeah, we actually we literally had our pre-show meeting we record tomorrow, so we were going over everything. And I mean, the big takeaways that I noticed, one, obviously, like I think the Bo Cortland connection just keeps getting better. And I mean, for Sutton to lead the team in receptions, only playing 3 or 4 series, is awesome. And he had, a killer drive. I think everyone was so worried about the beginning of the year, last year, that connection just wasn't really happening. And Sutton was even looking a little, unsure. And then that connection really started clicking. And so the end of the preseason to see that so clear and so awesome was great. PS2 was out there for 2 seconds and literally just that his one pass defended. It was just so like, stop. Like it's just a pro playing with like an elementary kid. Just like, don't stop. And so it's such a small thing, but that was awesome. And then the last thing that I noticed, I don't know if this is good or bad, but like, I think Ehlinger has so much potential, but the thing I noticed is he just seemed really indecisive and was holding on to the ball a lot. And I don't know a lot about, second or third string O-line, and I can't see the routes and what receivers aren't open. But it did seem to me that he was taking a lot more sacks and scrambling a lot more than maybe he needed to. And granted, he's a rookie and those things will happen. But those are kind of my top 3 observations for sure. So
I think piggybacking. There it is. It is 92 in LA, and I don't do well in heat.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Basically, Drew was asking. He was like, "Why didn't Jarrett Stidham play at all?" Yeah. The initial thought is, well, because we know what Jarrett could put out. Like, I mean, this preseason showing that Jarrett has done has been insane. And I mentioned last week, I was like, if he showed this last year, there's a chance that he might have been the starting quarterback over Bo Nix, at least in the beginning, while Bo developed. But the idea is he's sitting out because we know exactly what he has, and maybe Sam Ehlinger, we want tape on him so that maybe another team will pick him up, things like that. But then after Devon Vele sat out week 2 and then was traded, like, I don't know what to think about it. I would like to think Jarrett's staying here to keep his bromance alive with Bo Nix. But bromance can only go so far, and then there's business. So,
yeah. I was thinking the same thing. First, like, well, maybe like you said, just a chance to get Ehlinger. I can't.
We don't know. We don't know.
Can't tell you.
So we say both.
Yeah.
To cover the bases.
Either way, I was like, maybe it's just a good reason for give him all that extra chance. We don't need our backup to go out there and get hurt too, right? Right before the start of the season. But then it's like, man, with the way he's been playing, maybe this is kind of a 2-for-1. We want to see can Ehlinger be our backup because we want to trade. Or people are at least asking about. Yeah.
So
what I mean? Like there could be, Stidham could be, being shopped right now. And so is that a reason to do that as well? But we're just going to have to wait and see. Obviously tomorrow will be the big day, but I would think that, having somebody in Jarrett Stidham who knows Sean Payton's system, has been around for, the length of time Sean Payton has been, that's somebody that you want to have as your backup, right? That can go out there, protect the football, and at least not screw things up. That's all you want in your backup, and that's what we have. So is it worth getting rid of that in addition for something that we need? Because there's not really many needs that the Broncos have right now.
Yeah. I mean, not saying I did not even consider the trade possibility for Stidham. I don't love that idea because I think he's truly one of the best backups in the NFL right now, especially after what we've seen in the preseason. And look, he had a great preseason last year too. All of our quarterbacks did. I mean, we're talking about Zach Wilson potentially in the mix as a starter. So not shocked he had an amazing preseason. I just assumed, we knew what we had in him and he's our clear-cut backup. So yeah, there's no reason to put him out there to get more tape. The idea of trading him, I mean, unless we're getting some premier, and for a backup quarterback, that's obviously a different metric there for, premier trade capital for him. I don't love the thought of Ehlinger being our backup. Not that he has had a bad preseason. He really hasn't, but they're just on they're totally different levels when you see them out there between the two of them.
Well, and Drew knows a little bit about Zach Wilson now. He's dipping his toe into the Zach
Putzing around
Wilson.
in Miami now, which is making me so happy.
You're not loving it so far.
So happy.
He's not bad. Just keep your moms at home. That's all I'm saying.
I know.
That's true.
You know what? He's never gonna live it down. Like, he literally this past summer just had the most gorgeous wedding to the most gorgeous human ever. Like, they look beautiful together. The thing is no one will ever forget that. No one will
I
ever.
won't.
It's a scarlet letter. I know.
Well, and one of the tiny Zach Wilson things that I noticed is he's wearing number 0 right now. And like, you have to be like Josh Allen level good to rock number 0. And that's not a diss on Zach Wilson. It kind of is, but it's not. But like
Braxton Berrios was 0, right?
Berrios was 0. And a lot of he was a wide receiver for the Dolphins last year. He's also dating Alex Earl, which is a girly TikToker.
She's the most famous TikToker.
So anyway, he has swag. Like he had swag. Like he was a good returner for a little bit too. He like messed around with the Jets and the Patriots too. But he had swag and he was dating a baddie. So like he can rock 0. I guess Wilson's dating a baddie or married to a baddie.
Married, yeah.
But he's a quarterback, so more eyes are on you. And you gotta be bad in a good way with the football to rock number 0. That's my Zach Wilson.
What are they saying? Is he going to be your backup?
I mean, as of now, we don't have to do a Dolphins podcast, but as of now, it's obviously Tua, who's super healthy and secure. We don't have to worry about our backup situation.
Don't worry about
that. But we're paying Zach Wilson, I think $6 million for 1 year, and then we drafted Quinn Ewers from Texas, and even Ewers was having great training camp, not great games, kind of hit here and there. But Ewers would have had to run away with the backup job for us to pay Zach Wilson $6 million to be a third string quarterback. I don't see a world where that happens. So it's
staying with you.
All intents and purposes, my boy Wilson will probably be playing week 3 at this point with the Dolphins.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
You keep, I don't know what kind of special helmet Tua needs that is just extra padding or something. I don't know if he needs to go out there and rock the blueberry, but otherwise, yeah, I'm worried about that guy. In all honesty, because
the whole NFL,
not just for your team's sake, but for his own sake. One more weird, not even hit, but a look from somebody could knock him over. And that's the last thing you want for that guy. So look, it just, as much as TV announcers and stuff love to absolutely bring up the 70-20 game, it seems like that was kind of the peak for the Dolphins. Not trying to like rag on it, but I'm just like, things haven't gone well for the Dolphins since then. I mean, so it's kind of a weird, you thought one team would excel in the Dolphins while the Broncos continue to struggle, and that was not the case.
No, I mean, that is a great point. And truly, I actually feel silly bringing up the 70-20 game as a writ, like, because I
knew it would come up. I just was hoping it'd be more than 20 minutes in.
Yeah. To be fair, Kev brought it up.
I know it's not your fault, Drew. I
know,
you, but it's totally Kevin's fault.
But like, it's embarrassing at this point because of the trajectory the teams have gone on since. And I was thinking about this today, like, yes, there's the Brownses in the world and like the 0-16 Lions of the world and the Jetses of the world. But there's a certain kind of misery of like constant just below mediocrity that the Dolphins have been in for the last, I mean, since Marino, like truly. We're so to have that high, like I remember that I watched that game at Dez's house.
Yeah.
And I mean, truly since then, that was the year Tyreek was going to go for 2,000 yards. That was the year we were knocking on the door to win the AFC East against the Bills. Like, and to just have that all crumble to, I mean, I truly am having like, how am I back here again? Like only 2 years later and just thinking that 9-8, will be okay. It's sad. So I think truly like the Broncos as of now got the last laugh from that 70-20 game. Like truly.
Clip it.
We might just broadcast it everywhere. It's just an interesting turn of events. But so I think, the question then for, all of us here kind of moving on past that is now that we've come, several years since then, and we've seen what the Broncos have done and the moves they've made, there's a lot of expectations on the Broncos this year. I know Sean Payne has talked about Super Bowl. I know I'm not there yet, right? But people are talking about winning 11, 12, 13 games. I know I'm kind of on that 12, 13 game, kind of line right there. But do we have our expectations too high for them right now? Like, this is only the second year for Bo Nix. This is still a really young team. They're making some good moves, but there's still a lot of experience that they've got to get, right? So, I mean, are we being too Bronco fanny, or is this legit?
Jump on board, dude. You're talking about 13 wins. You think you're on board for 13 wins this year? Yeah. And we can't go to the Super Bowl with 13 wins? Well, I mean, come on.
Football playoff experience.
You're so close.
You saw what they did last year.
Jump in.
I'm just saying.
13 games, but not have a chance at the Super Bowl. Come on.
I don't know, man. I think it's been ringing a little bit more true this week. And also, I think when I first started Dummies back in 2020, I was like, we're going to the Super Bowl, and this is when we were winning 5 and 12. You know what I mean? Like, it was not good. So Delulu at the max. And now finally is like the closest we've ever been to getting back to that point. And I'm actually like, hey guys, can we not? Because everywhere I look, I'm seeing people talk about the Broncos winning the AFC, the Broncos getting to the Super Bowl. I hear it, and there's a part of me that I'm like, but I don't know if I saw that in the preseason. And then on the other side, people are like, preseason doesn't matter. We'll see when we play the Titans. But it's also like, we just played the Saints. Saints, arguably the worst team in the NFL right now. Arguably, at least bottom 3. And when our ones were out there, they couldn't get it going. Like, Sean kept them out there longer because he wanted, in my opinion, them to build confidence so that we can go into week 1 against the Titans, the worst team in the league last year because they had the number 1 pick, with confidence. Like, there was something about last week's game that I was like, where is the Super Bowl team that we should be destroying these guys? It is preseason, but those are just some thoughts that have been swirling. I don't know.
I think Broncos country as a whole has learned to be, after the last decade, aside from last season, has learned to be cautious. Cautiously optimistic has been kind of our catchphrase here for the last, 3 seasons at least, maybe longer. So yeah, it does. I think a lot of people are feeling the same way you are, and I'm in that boat too. But to your point about the ones not getting it going, we saw that last year too, where Sean Payton just kept them out there until he felt like they finally got into a groove and finally was happy with what he was seeing on the field. I will say I'm glad it only took 3 drives. Like, that first drive was atrocious. And same thing for what we saw in the first preseason game. It did not look like things were clicking. Second drive, there was a really nice pass to Sutton. God, you could do that all season. And I love seeing that back shoulder throw. And then obviously the third drive was just, it seemed like every play was working. Bo seemed to be under pressure a lot. So there's a lot of talk about, is the offensive line regressing? What's going on there? I'm not concerned yet. We'll see what week 1 looks like. But that third drive just gave me so much more hope with the way that everything seemed to be clicking. And to Drew's point earlier, the connection between Bo and Sutton. I mean, he had 4 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown. That's in 3 drives. That's a great fantasy football week. So I'm not too worried about it. The connection is going to get going until we see it kind of the wheels coming off in the regular season. Then I'll start getting concerned. But for now, I'm cautiously optimistic.
No, I think, kind of the idea of this is just preseason and it doesn't matter. Like, in some ways, yes, but in some ways, like, we're looking for the fundamentals, right? How are they executing on the basics? And so when you see things like, the opposing teams maybe bringing 4, 5, like, there's not really a blitz coming, but it seemed like Bo Nix was getting pressured still a lot, right? Yeah. The run game, it still didn't seem, and it wasn't any of the running backs' fault. It just seemed like they weren't really getting a lane open, right? So while the entire playbook isn't available yet, they're not utilizing that. You're still looking at, like, these guys should still be blocking efficiently. So where's the performance we saw last year, and why does it look the same between the first preseason game and the third preseason game? So it's not a concern yet. And I was talking about this during the pregame or the halftime show. It's not a concern yet, but if you see it in week 1, okay, now we have a trend, right? And it's bleeding over into the regular season, and now maybe we have something to be concerned about, right? So there are some things we can look at to say, these things are going really well. That connection between Bo and Sutton is looking really strong. That's great. Bo looks like he's, has his head on his swivel for the most part. I mean, Chosen One here says, yeah, Bo Nix looks off. Okay, maybe it's just, he's still kind of dusting off the cobwebs from the offseason and stuff, getting in the game flow, right? And it could be a little while till we see the offense really flourish, right? I think Sean Payton even said a couple months ago that it's going to maybe be the first month of the season, the first 4 or 5 games till we get a good look and a good idea of what this offense is capable of. So there's going to be probably some growing pains there, but that's when you go like, oh man, but look at this defense we have. Are you kidding me? The defense is going to be absolutely phenomenal. And I think they proved that more than anything during these 3 preseason games. So while there's a lot of focus on the offense, man, we got to talk about this defense, right? I mean, who's a player that's standing out for you guys? I mean, other than like Benito, right? Who we know is going to go on.
Benito. We haven't even seen Benito.
Yeah.
First game we did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true. You're right. Jonah Ellis, though. Give me the second string behind Benito and Cooper. Jonah Ellis, just every play he's out there, it seems like he's making an impact there. So super excited to see him in his second year in the league. And what are the opportunities? I mean, he made the all-rookie team last year, so it's not like he's had a terrible start to his NFL career. So he's looking like he's out for it this year.
Yeah.
Dezel.
What do you guys think?
As far as defense, I know that's what he calls the Dezel. I really like Talanoa Hufanga.
Yes.
I'm really stoked to see him, but I think how you're like, oh man, this defense is crazy, which is so true. It's absolutely true. I'm not saying it's not, but I always go back to week 1 when our Super Bowl winning defense was out there and the Niners just ran straight through us. And like, I so hope that was just a blip. Here I am being like, wait, but we're supposed to have the best defense in the NFL, and we just allowed this. And also, we have players that are injured. I mean, Dre Greenlaw hasn't been playing. Like, he's been out all preseason because we want to save him for the regular season. But I had a thought. I'm like, well, as soon as he gets in there, because they're keeping him out because he goes all in when he plays games. And it's like, great, so he's going to go all in for one game and then hurt himself? Like, it just there's a couple of injuries on the defense that has me a little bit. Man, I didn't think I'd be this pessimistic.
I know.
It's valid.
I've been having some thoughts this week, and we haven't really talked about it. But I don't know. I'm stoked about it, but I'm so ready to be done with preseason and get into the regular season, because all we can do is be like, did we see something or did we not? I don't know, and that's it.
Yeah.
And there's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah. What up, Clayton?
Clayton's in the house. Clayton's a longtime fan, man. Look, while we're getting to halftime here ourselves, I'm gonna go through our spiel, let everyone know about us, but then follow that up with you guys and let everybody know how they can follow and find you guys on the Sports Balls podcast. So for us guys, look, this show every Monday night, 8 p.m. Mountain Time for the Postgame podcast. You can join in, post your comments, post your questions, and then of course, if you missed this, it's going to be up on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcast, we are definitely there. And then don't forget about Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time is our Bourbon Broncos No B.S. flagship show. As we are going on into our 10th season doing this, we've been doing that show for a solid 10 years now. So crazy stuff, guys. Make sure you join us tomorrow night for that. Game day, guys. We got a ton of game day stuff. Hour before game day, or before the game, we have our tailgate talk live. So tune in for that to get all the last minute breakdowns of the inactive list and last minute news before that. And then we also have the original live halftime show. Nobody else was doing that when we started it. So this is the place you want to be for the live halftime. As soon as halftime starts, I know what you guys do. You all pick up your phones as soon as halftime starts. Just come on over here and join the conversation. Get some instant reactions, share your thoughts and everything going on. And we'll be starting that with week 1 here in less than 2 weeks. So tons of stuff, guys. You're just going to follow us all the different places and get ready for it, because when the regular season starts, we're going to be doing a ton of different giveaways to celebrate our 10th anniversary. So appreciate all our fans and whatnot. But Des, Drew, tell us about you guys.
Dude, 10 years is a long time.
Congrats, guys.
Tell me about it.
That's a long. You know what? Drew has been in LA for 10 years
Today. This is my 10-year
Today.
LA anniversary, as they call it.
Happy LA Day.
Wow,
Appreciate
that's
it.
what they call it. Go ahead. Take
Yeah,
it.
I mean, first things first, listen to us at Sports Ball Podcast, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at Sports Ball Pod. We release every Tuesday at noon Cali time PST, so that'll be 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Yeah, I mean, just talking, yes, I'm a Dolphins fan. Des is a Broncos fan. Des has all of our amazing things with Broncos for Dummies. But we like to try and bring our personalities, all of our history as, entertainers and comedy actors and all that fun stuff, and try and bring a little bit more levity to the idea that no one really knows anything about this sport. We can all try and say we do, but have a little bit more of that, two friends just talking smack to each other about our teams and about the NFL. So
yeah, I like to say we're the comfort creators of the NFL. You can put us on in the background and won't have to think hard.
that's
we're not.
We're not at all.
You're not going to break down the crazy stats and go into the
We will.
ADPs and
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe one F.
Yeah.
We will.
Okay.
EFF's got nothing on Des.
No.
Exactly. I'm sure. And what I'm really looking forward to is the next time the Broncos play the Dolphins. That's going to be a fun show for you guys.
I do know you can look in and use your crystal ball to how they determine it a little bit. We obviously don't know when or where, but it will be happening next year.
There you go.
So,
oh my God, you heard it here first.
Yeah, I mean, I think I reported. I saw that's happening. So
you're totally right. Then
I read it on the internet.
Yeah, don't even bother looking it up. It's a fact.
It's a fact.
Don't just take it. Yeah. So there you go.
Well, let's get back to it. This is great, guys, and we'll let you plug it again here at the end. But definitely, guys, go check out the Sports Balls Pod. If you, it's a laugh, it's a hoot. These guys, Des and Drew, they're freaking hilarious, and kind of the same mindset that we have here. We're not experts, we're just fans. We just want to talk about it with everybody.
Yep.
We got DeAndre up in here, we got C Chang, we got Clayton, all these other people. We just want to talk with the fans and have a good time. So make sure you guys go check out Des and Drew if you like the stuff over here as well. You'll probably laugh just as hard, if not harder, and have a good time. So
thanks, man.
Well, let's see, with going back some Broncos talk, man. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting to see the cuts we've made. We already talked about Mathis, Estime, and stuff like that. But in general, I mean, this roster looks on paper to be really solid. And so I'm kind of just curious, what other, we talked about Greenlaw, who's, I think, for all of us, I know I'm concerned about too. Hufanga is a huge pickup. I'm trying to think of anyone else we got during the offseason that maybe is of note or somebody to watch for. I think McLaughlin is a name we haven't brought up yet, but being that third running back spot, he's going to still have a very important role in this team. So I don't know if you have any other names that you guys want to throw out and talk about.
Who might be on the chopping block or
who's going to be on the team that we know of that is worth mentioning, any of that stuff, because right now we're waiting for those final decisions. So it's tough to say, but lots to talk about still there. Yeah.
The one that I'm really excited about is Ingram. I mean,
yes, we haven't talked about him yet.
To have a tight, I watched a lot of Broncos games last year, and that was the one area. I mean, there were several areas, but there just was really unreliable tight end play. And I think you don't realize it until you don't have it, how much you need a good, reliable tight end. And Des and I were super fortunate to be able to go to training camp last week, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago. And to see, I won't shut up about this, but it was just so cool to see, after every practice and every little passing drive, Bo Nix and Evan Ingram were just chatting, and so involved. And I think obviously Ingram has so much veteran wisdom to bestow on Bo, but also to have Bo rising to that occasion and rising to that leadership level in year 2, and to have such a reliable and looking incredibly healthy and incredible shape tight end. Yeah. I'm super excited to see with Sutton, with, Troy Franklin having a good year, to have also a reliable, Mims, and then to have a reliable tight end. I'm really excited to see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. When was the last time we had a true number one tight end? I mean, Fant,
And
like
that didn't really pan out.
Yeah.
never really lived up to that first round grade, but he was, maybe
closest.
borderline above average as a tight end.
Yeah.
But never like someone to Ingram's level in a long time. So, and think about it, as a rookie quarterback, you want that tight end safety net type of a player that he didn't have last year, and he still put up the numbers that he did. So, throwing a guy like Ingram to this offense, I mean, if we had that last year, what Bo's numbers could have looked like. And just seeing that last week in game, I guess it wasn't Bo throwing the ball last week, but that 58-yard catch and run from Ingram.
Cool.
Imagine that guy running at you if you're a defender, safety, small size cornerback. Like, he's gonna run you over. So it's exciting to have that kind of just another threat to this offense that we just have not had in years. 100% Drew. It's very exciting to have a guy like that, and he is trying to get on the same page with Bo Nix as quick as possible, like you mentioned.
Yeah. Jeremy, how you doing? Glad you're here. Put comments, questions in the chat, guys.
Jeremy,
speaking of tight ends, I want to know what your thoughts are on Caleb Lohner.
Yes. So I'm excited about him. And if he can continue to develop, I think obviously this is maybe more of a next year thing, see where he lands and how he develops over the course of the year. But I think you saw him. He had at least one catch this last week.
Yeah, he did. It was actually pretty nice. I think it was on third down and catch and run for a first down. It looked good. I'm having a hard time seeing him make the 53-man roster. But I'd be shocked if he's not on the practice squad. Definitely a developmental guy. And, he was a basketball player all of college. Right? He had 4 catches in college. Granted, they were all touchdowns, so I'll take that, efficiency.
Yeah.
Sure, but it's because he's 2 times the size of anyone that was defending him.
Right. He's 6'7".
That's
250 pounds.
Real.
You get this guy to learn how to play football.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, all these people saying, why are you wasting a 7th round pick on, this tight end that's never basically played football before? And he turns out to be a decent tight end. Oh my gosh. Like, he's just going to truck people down. And that's monstrous.
I have this weird memory, and this could be wrong, but didn't Jimmy Graham play for the Saints at one point? And wasn't Jimmy Graham another basketball player turned tight end?
I think so, yeah.
You are
Sean
correct.
Payton,
So it's like,
just saying.
Sean Payton knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I think Lohner was a better college basketball player than Jimmy Graham was, but I think Jimmy Graham was playing a lot more football than Lohner. So, we'll see if they can develop him. Yeah, I mean, Antonio Gates, another good example of a basketball star turned Hall of Fame tight end. So, give me Antonio Gates any day in this guy.
100%.
For sure. I know we brought up earlier, but let's go ahead and review it again because Jeremy's asking who's getting cut in the running back room. We know Estime did. And Oz, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if any team wants to pick him up. I don't think the Broncos are going to bring him back to the practice squad unless maybe Blake Watson, who was cut today as well, doesn't make it through waivers, which he's the one we're thinking is going to get picked up by some other team.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only chance Estime has of coming back to be a Bronco, because at this point, again, it goes back to the end of last season, right before the playoff game there against the Bills. I don't know what Audric Estime did to piss off Sean Payton. I don't know if he made fun of his mother's cooking or something, right? But he did something to get benched on that game in place of Tyler Bidet. But and we haven't heard anything about Tyler Bidet getting cut yet, but he's another one where I think that we would obviously want him on the practice squad more than anything. It is kind of tough to see any spot on the Broncos right now for Audric Estime. And it's not so much, he's not capable of doing it, but there just seems to be some maybe bad blood there or something.
I don't see him.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we sort of heard some whispers, but I feel like where there's smoke, there's fire about Audric being somewhat of a poor sport during practices. Whether that's true or not, we'll never know. But I think we're sort of seeing the fallout of what could be true.
Yeah.
Like if he wasn't cut, I'd be like, all right, guys, whatever. You're not saying that right. Oh my God, Gary, I saw this comment. And I was like, that's
I mean, when Des said, speaking of tight ends, I was like, where are we going here?
Wait, what?
You never know. I love talking
I
about
feel like
tight
you
ends.
emphasize that when you say you're tight end, there's a little hesitation. So, I appreciated it. For sure.
I love it. But I don't know. I don't see him back on the Broncos. Blake Watson, I mean, I got to be, because John, you were saying you were bummed about him. Yeah.
I'm not surprised he's cut. I just thought he'd be closer to the end of the list of people that were cut
I
than,
guess.
being earlier on.
I just always forget about him. Like he'll do a couple, 1 or 2 here, but then you think of McLaughlin Bidet before the injury. Like I don't see him coming back, but maybe practice. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you have 16
I think
people.
overestimate.
I think you have 16 people on the practice squad. I wouldn't be shocked if both Watson and Estimate come back. You got to remember, Broncos spent a 5th-round pick. If anyone wants to correct me on that, happy to be corrected on Estimate. So, there's a little bit of draft.
We won't be doing it.
We won't be correcting you.
And I mean, the only
I
other
know
thing
everyone's constantly on their phone looking at correcting me, but we should just have an AI thing going on in the background telling me I'm wrong every 5 seconds. But I wouldn't be surprised if both those guys make it on the practice squad with 16 players there. But I think this solidifies Bidet as a very strong candidate to make the 53-man roster with what we've seen this preseason and training camp. I think McLaughlin's probably there just from last season, but from preseason games alone, I think Bidet has looked the strongest out of taking away the top 2 guys. He's looked like the one that wants it the most. So I have a hard time. I'm not gonna lie. This time, I'll be shocked if he's not on that 53-man roster. And I think where we save the spot is probably at wide receiver and keep 5 guys there, and maybe 9 guys on the offensive line to make that extra room for a 4th running back. Because at wide receiver, unless a guy like Courtney Jackson finds a way on this roster because of his special teams skill, but again, we saw Bidet bring back a 50-yarder return in this game, which I didn't know he was capable. I didn't know he returned the ball at all. So to see that, and it just is another dynamic part of his game. So maybe maybe there'll be a surprise in a 6th wide receiver that we're not tracking. But the other guys behind him, Newton, and I think the only other guy that's left that hasn't been cut is maybe a guy like Bandy. But those would be. I mean, I'd be surprised if Jackson made the team, and very surprised if Bandy made the team.
Yeah. Wide receivers are looking really good. And the fact that we were willing to trade Devon Vele, and you got to think about like what that actually means. I mean, Devon Vele started in 7 or 8 games last year and looked really solid. He was really consistent, right? He always got, when the Broncos had this problem of dropping the ball, he was not part of that problem. And we were still confident enough to trade him away. Now, I don't know what the Saints are doing, right? You're really giving up draft capital right now, like a 4th rounder, but
the 4th rounder shocked me.
Yeah,
right. Especially when the Saints aren't going to be good this year. So it's going to be a high 4th round pick, right?
So Kev, you're wrong again. The Saints are a number 3 or number 4 receiver from NFL, Super Bowl.
Oh yes, they just need one more.
So they got that.
They're like what the Broncos were like 8 years ago.
That is not a dig at Vele. I love Vele. You're right. He was basically our number 2 wide receiver in many games last year, and very reliable. He was like almost the go-to 3rd down guy because Sutton's covered, and again we don't have that tight end. He was almost the go-to guy in a lot of 3rd down. So shame to see him go, but I think that just talks to how much these other guys have developed and stepped up in this offseason.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I want to get your guys to take on, Troy Franklin. Like, this guy looks, at least in preseason, like he has turned it around. And all of a sudden, people are like, oh, I need to go draft him in my fantasy football league, right? Yeah. Whereas before, you didn't hear anything about him because of kind of what we saw last season, which wasn't terrible. It just wasn't great by any means. So to see him turn around and look as sharp as he has, in addition to Pat Bryant, like this wide receiver room has gone from people saying, oh, there's nobody, other than Cortland Sutton, and he's not even really a first, starting, in any other team, to like, okay, now we got like people that you can't shut up about.
Right.
So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts about that, but it's kind of crazy to see.
You want to go?
Your mouth is open. So
I feel like I've been bogarting a lot of this. So I was gonna
this is, by the way, that would just happen. The prime connection that you'll get.
I just like when
sports ball
open,
pod all the time. I mean, I'm really excited to see that out of him and to see. Now I'm worried I'm going to get this wrong, but Franklin was Bo Nix's teammate, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
So to see that connection grow, and I mean, there was so much pressure obviously on Bo Nix, but then to have that when Bo Nix started to really pop off, it's like, oh, Franklin's going to be right there with him. And I remember he had some drops. I think I remember specifically Kev, Des, and I, the game that we were at, that phenomenal Raiders game. he had like a would-be touchdown drop, I remember. And I specifically being like that, I vividly remember that. And then kind of just like almost like the yips for a receiver. You know what I mean? And there were some times where he was hearing footsteps that didn't seem to be there. I'm not a genius, but route seemed off. And so to have that connection with Bo already, and how much we've heard about Bo working with Sutton, Bo working with Ingram, you know, going and working with now I'm a Drew Brees, and like this urge to go work with these players. I wouldn't be shocked at all if there was a lot of off-season connection and work and timing with Troy Franklin specifically, because they always say, you know, if Franklin is like your number 3, that's a phenomenal at his peak. That's a phenomenal number 3 receiver to have. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I think there's a lot of potential there, and I'm excited to see how that plays out this year.
Yeah.
I agree.
Wow. Well, hey, you don't need to repeat it if you're right there with. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You brought up a good point though. Who is our number 2, number 3, number 4? I don't know if we have, aside from our number 1, I don't know if we have a designated 2, 3, 4, 5 guy, because they're going to be drawing up plays for Mims. You know that. He's too dynamic. He's the gadget guy. He's going to be making the splash plays. But I have faith in Franklin and Pat Bryant and Sherfield Sr., who came out of nowhere for me for this preseason. All as reliable, sure-handed guys. We talked about Bailey, you know, being the go-to guy on third down a little bit last year. But all of these guys, one thing I've loved this preseason is like no drops. So we had one this last game, and I was like, shouldn't have said anything. But the reliability from our wide receivers looks really strong right now. Pat Bryant, I think he had 1 drop in college or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
So, and he just seems to always be open when he's out there. So I don't know if they're just going to rotate guys in and out, different packages, you know, whatever. I don't know if we're going to have a designated number 2. I don't know if you guys feel differently.
I don't think so. Nope. I think that Sean Payton's MO is like rotating through, so you can never really guess who it's going to, but that's what it seems like from last year.
And I even see, if you have a solid, like, I know this might not be correct, but if you have solid tight end play, your tight end almost can serve as your number 2. And then that lets a number 2 receiver almost, now you have 2 number 2s with Mims or Franklin. And, you know, and John, real quick, my question, because you're bringing up some are they still kind of tabbing Mims as still being your return specialist, or because he's showing a lot more specialness at receiver, do you then just start to get worried? Because I've always said punt and kick returner is one of the most dangerous positions ever. So do you want to now save a dynamic receiver and have someone else be the returner? It's like good problems to have, but you know what I mean?
He's too dynamic. All pro returner, you have to have him back there. He can take it to the house at any given time. And you don't want to save him. And the fact that we do have these other guys there gives you that flexibility too. You don't have to worry about him not being able to be out there as a wide receiver, because you have these other guys that can jump in and you have the different packages, whatever. No, you got to have Mims out there, because it's must-watch football when he's returning kicks. It's not like, oh, they're going to punt, it's going to be a kickoff. I'll get my, commercial break started early. It's you got to watch this guy when he's returning kicks, and we're not.
I see. That.
I hope I'm right on that, Drew. Like, I'd be very upset if I didn't see him today.
No, it's a great point. It's a great point.
No, it's something to worry about, right? Because if you lose somebody like Mims because of a kick return, everybody can say, why is he the one returning kicks when he's so valuable, on the offense, and he's such a dynamic weapon. And I get that, right? But then you look at how productive he is on the kick return, and he is something that other special teams have to fear and really worry about, because the second you let him get around a player in a corner and get the speed going, he's gone.
Yeah.
And so, do we have somebody to really replace him in that kick return to have him standing there? Bidet showed a nice one there in preseason, but it kind of takes a lot of the threat out, when you don't have him out there. So
it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Like, that's part of the reason why he was drafted too. I mean, was for his return ability. And look, for Bears fans out there, no one was clamoring for Devin Hester not to be returning kicks. Like, No, that was part of his game. That people are clamoring for him to get into the Hall of Fame because of his kick return ability.
Yeah.
So, no, you got to have him in his return kick because he's been one of, if not the best in the league for the last few years.
I like it. Well, look, guys, and James, thank you for tuning in. And Fajri, if I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize, but glad you're here as well. We're going to do some closing comments here and get to some thoughts. So, Des and Drew, get ready for it because I'm calling you. But yeah, guys, look, once again, make sure you follow us all the different places. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time because we will have the 53-man roster tomorrow night. And we'll be able to tell you exactly, what this looks like, talk about any surprise cuts. There might still be a trade somewhere out there we don't know about that might develop. Obviously, we're looking at Mathis being one of the main ones, but with him not getting traded and being cut instead, obviously we're not seeing it there. So it's going to be interesting one way or the other, but there's still a lot of hard decisions. And I don't know if these coaches are going to get any sleep tonight, especially on the Broncos, because it's not like years past where you're like, okay, there's, we have to find a way to fill the roster spots with players that would probably be cut otherwise. Now we have players that are like, well, we really want to keep him. How do we keep him? I don't know if we can, so it's really interesting stuff there, guys. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night. And then we got the Tennessee Toddlers coming to town on September 7th. So get ready for it. I heard the NFL is other teams are mad that the Broncos get a 4th preseason game.
Almost a 5th. It's almost a 5th a week later.
Yeah, true.
Unless Daniel Jones is someone maybe I don't know enough about Daniel Jones. I don't know.
I think everybody knows enough about Daniel Jones. I mean, I'm just glad I'm not a Colts fan. Let's just say that. But yeah, let's go around the horn here with some closing thoughts. John, man, we'll start with you, buddy. What you got?
I have a lot of thoughts.
Broncos related.
Des and Drew, you weren't here last week, but yes, I am a degenerate, and I will bet on Broncos preseason games. And they held true. They held the line, -5.5. They nailed it. Shout out to Ellinger, however his name is, because never have I been more invested in the final 5 minutes of a preseason game. That Hail Mary throw to the wide receiver Rowan, who I just saw it has been released, so that's a little bit of a bummer to see it this early again. But very thankful for that because it seemed like the Saints were getting their groove going, and I was very concerned about my line hitting. But they pulled it out. I'm telling you, Sean Payton, he loves winning, period. So, yeah, he loves winning the preseason as well.
Especially when it's against the Saints.
Yeah.
Against the Saints, I'm telling you, bet on the Broncos in preseason. I'm taking it every year until we don't have Sean Payton. I'm not taking it every year. Had I known Stidham wasn't playing this game, I maybe would have thought twice before making that bet. But still happy. It worked out. All things happen for a reason. No, that was good. Des and Drew, super appreciative of you for joining. You mentioned Sports Ball Pod.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, it's called Sports Ball. It's the Sports Ball podcast, but our handle is Sports Ball Pod.
Yeah,
on all the platforms.
I'll definitely be checking that out. I love what you were saying earlier of just you guys would be bullshitting and like just talking like as we all do on the couch with our friends during games or whatever, and like why not put this on a podcast? Why not put this out to the world? And I mean that's how I feel like, Kev, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how this idea came to fruition.
Yeah.
And how you've been doing this, or the Orange Weekly for 10 years now. I've only been a part of it for 6 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a while now. Yeah.
It's gone by in a flash. But Spotty, who's on here very regularly, most Tuesdays. I mean, that's how I got him to join. I was like, dude, instead of having a phone call with me for 30 minutes after everything, you just get on this freaking podcast, please. Because all these conversations, I don't want to have to say the same thing like 2-3 times in a week. So, no, anyways, back to my point. I love the idea of your show. Can't imagine it being anything less than stellar and hilarious and fun to watch. So thanks for joining and really excited to check that out.
Oh, bless up,
Thanks,
John.
Yeah.
Bless up.
Yep.
Thank you for having us on.
Of course. Well, take it away. What are your guys' closing thoughts? Broncos related. Push your pod again. Let everyone know how they can find you.
Broncos for Dummies. You get the last word.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts about the Broncos before I take it away?
my baby thing, genuinely, I'm just very excited to see this season. Like I am pulling for them. And my last final thing, obviously I want to see them win. Well, I'd like to see my Dolphins win the Super Bowl. They're not going to this year. So I'd love to see the Broncos win the Super Bowl. But I think a win, in my opinion, is dethroning the Chiefs. If you can get that, if you can win the West, that is obviously you want to then win a playoff game after that. But if you want to win if you can look back and say we dethroned the Chiefs, that would be a massive win. So that's my hope. And that's my last observation.
Yes. I think on that note, I think my final thoughts after watching all of preseason is this is actually the first year that I'm a little bit more glass half empty and I have no idea what's going on up in this noggin, and it needs to change, and I need to start watching actual games.
Yeah.
So I can start being like, oh, I was right or I was wrong, because now it's just we just don't know. We need to take the Chiefs down. I will never be happy ever if that does not happen. A day in my life, not one single day. So the Chiefs need to go down. But super excited. We are literally less than 14 days away, and thank God it is so close. Yes, get all the Chiefs fans out there. They're the worst. But yes, I'm Des from Broncos for Dummies. This is Drew. He was is producer on Broncos for Dummies, and we came together and decided to create a podcast about two friends that don't know anything about football. So we have an episode dropping every Tuesday. You can find us Sports Ball Pod on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Sports Ball on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and listen to all the shenanigans and Broncos for Dummies on Instagram and TikTok.
Love it. Love it, guys. Look, you're going to be sitting here doing your own 10-year reunion before you know it. Broncos for Dummies is only 5 years away.
I don't want to be
which
doing
is
this
awesome.
with him 10 years. I know. No.
Oh, I said the same thing about these guys, and here I am. I love you, Don. I'm just kidding.
You're stuck with you. Get out of here. You're lucky. You're lucky.
I am. You guys are the ones that stuck around me for the 10 years. So.
Hell,
I keep giving you guys outs, but no, seriously, Des and Drew, you guys are fantastic. Thanks for coming on and helping us out, talking Broncos and talking about your podcast and everything. Everyone, make sure you guys go check out the Sports Balls podcast and check out the Broncos for Dummies podcast as well and everything if you haven't already. I'm a very proud dummy. I follow your videos. I'm all in on it. So great stuff there.
I'm a dummy too.
We're all dummies.
I like it. Well, hey, and also, guys, so for everyone else, if you're looking for other things to sign up for, head on over to broncosandbourbon.com. Sign up on our website for free. Everybody who signs up this season is going to be automatically upgraded for free to our next membership tier when we introduce those next season. So this is the year to get in on it as we grow out that website. Tons of things for you to do there. You can upload photos and everything from like your game day experience, or, show off your man cave, or your Broncos setup, your Broncos game day look, and just kind of share that around with other Broncos fans. We also have our game day chat, so you guys can come on there and share your thoughts and reactions, everything during the game, and just interact with people that way as well. Also, there is still the Easter egg hidden somewhere on the site for somebody to find. And once you find it, let us know where you think it is, and you will get free top tier membership for life. And so if another 10 years from now, we have like a $200 top tier membership, which would be awesome if we get that big, you don't have to worry about it because you're going to get it for free. So somebody needs to go on there and find that Easter egg and claim that prize. So I think Kev,
speaking of prizes, can you put up that comment that you posted about your age?
Oh, yeah. So apparently I got
get
some lucky whiskers here. So if anybody wants one of these lucky whiskers, I don't know if it's worth the shipping costs, but if you guess the name or the age right of myself, which is a weird way to say that, you will get a whisker. So
I think you are 33.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
You're close, but not quite.
Can I guess your age and not get a whisker?
No, you can't, because you know the answer.
Oh, you do? Okay, well, he just gave you a hint.
Well, I know. So, Kev, truly, my guess was going to be because people are bringing this up and they're bringing up the whiskers and you have the beard, but you have a very youthful face. So I was
you.
even gonna go like 28.
No.
Oh wow.
You have
Dang.
wisdom. 28-year-olds don't.
28-year-old.
Wait a minute,
Thanks.
you
No.
take my compliment and turn it into a diss.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like 28, that
All right, fine.
age.
Is this why I still get carded everywhere I go?
Probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Kev, did you start the show when you were 18?
No.
Oh,
No,
wait,
did
yeah,
not.
Oh,
no.
that's a good point.
That's
All
a
right.
good point.
Yeah.
So, okay, so
It's a good clue.
36, 35.
I mean, you could have. I don't know.
Ooh.
What do you
Yeah,
say?
you got
What'd
it.
you
what do you say? Which one? Which one did we?
36. 36.
Oh, we get a whisper.
Which is-
get?
I'll send you the
Whisper.
lucky whisper.
Kev, look,
I'll
we're
pick-
just
I'll pick
gonna
one out
drop it
for you.
right now. You heard it here first. Des and I will be out in Denver for the Chiefs game. I will see you there, and I will collect
Yes.
my whisker.
Perfect. I don't have to send it to you then. So just
No,
remind me,
I'll
and
come
I'll
to you, and
I'll
I'm
get you a
taking my
fresh,
whisker.
fresh one.
Yes. Yes. I don't know if I want to be a part of this, but I encourage it.
Doesn't matter. It's gonna be between me
The
and
the
Kev.
sad thing is, you asked me to bring it back up, and for a second there, I had to be like, wait, if they guess it, am I going to be able to remember? Like, how old am I? Wait, if I do the math, oh yeah, that's how old I am.
It starts to happen when you forget your age. It's
No,
scary.
no.
Oh, it's happened way too many times
36.
already. So,
That feels young. That feels young, Kev. I'm not gonna.
yeah,
Exactly.
yep.
Well,
But
yeah.
oh well.
All right.
Anyway, no, thank you guys. This has been a great show. It's been a great time, guys. Broncos season right around the corner. 53-man roster tomorrow, and then we got to start getting ready for week 1 against the Titans at home. And it's full swing from there, full Broncos mode. So get ready for it, guys. But yeah, again, Des and Drew, thank you very much. John, thank you very much as always, guys. Des and Drew, you guys are always welcome here anytime you want. We'll get you back on another time and get some more people over to your podcast there as well. So
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys joining me today.
No, thank you for having us. Seriously, it was a blast. We
And
appreciate
also, last thing we'll leave on this note, you guys were my first ever podcast, 2021. I was you first guest ever, and this is Drew's first guest ever.
There you go.
Bringing it all around.
Wow.
So thank
Yep.
you. Genuinely, it was a blast, and thank you so much for all the kind words and just having us. It was awesome.
Mhm.
No, I would not have known that this was your first, guest podcast. You did very well. Very smooth. So, and that's saying a lot for a Dolphins fan. So.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks to all the, John, Des, and Drew. But guys, man, I got nothing left to say other than end this show as we always do. And Drew, you got to do this as well on a very strong Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Broncos!
Go Broncos!
Yeah!
See you guys.
Do what I like, yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sip and go, sip is right, and I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, yeah, they know